Everesting is a challenge that many people have taken on over the years, and records do exist for the fastest times. But these records aren't something I'm interested in. I just want to ride up and down a hill a number of times until I have gained the same elevation as the highest mountain on Earth. My training for this challenge will take me 13 weeks. So let's start with week 1 of training.
So the date is the 11th of May. I've decided to commit to the Everest challenge. From this point, I need to be stepping everything up. So firstly, I'm quite impressed that I've hit the target for the week, because actually that's the most I've cycled in a long time. I've also had to change my plans to make sure that I hit that target. So I'm impressed I've shown a bit of dedication towards the training. So I'm just out on a long ride during week 4, and I need to do 3,600 meters this week. I just had a look at the Strava data, and it's 3,700 meters of climbing this week, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. Right, so we're starting week 6 now, and so that's sort of the halfway point really. So I'm going to do 2 rides of 2,200 meters and a bit more, I think, just to top it up. So that's 2,250 meters of climbing done today. The one thing it did bring to light as well though was the mental side of it, of, you know, going up the same hill every single time for so many times. So although I feel, you know, physically quite strong, I think it's going to be, a lot of the training is actually going to be me getting used to climbing and then descending, climbing and then descending up the same route, you know, the repetitiveness of it. So, you know, that's definitely given me something to think about. So I'm just about halfway through week 8 now, and I'm really starting to struggle to get all the ascending that I'm trying to do, or that I said I'd do in my training plan. It was quite a lot last week. It was 5,200 meters of climbing last week, and this week I've got to try and do 5,700 meters of climbing. I think it's just important really to acknowledge that, you know, the training I am finding it difficult to get the miles in and the ascending, but maybe that's just training. You know, it's pushing myself a bit further than I would normally go, and doing that time and time again. So week 8 didn't really go how I wanted it to. Well, I didn't hit the ascent that I wanted to. It was because I had a bit of illness at the start of the week, and in reality probably a bit of poor planning. It just it didn't finish very well, and it left me questioning a few things about how much I'm trying and how tough it's going to be as well. So if anything, I think it made me a little bit more determined to, you know, to hit the target this week. So I've just finished week 9 of the training, so that's 5,800 metres of climbing that I've done. I've been thinking about the mileage today and the ascent, and I was thinking that this week all the mileage I've done is still not equivalent to what I'm going to do on the day. So today I'm out for what should be the longest day of the training, and I'm hoping to do about 3,000 metres of ascent. I was feeling a little bit nervous about this ride actually. I don't know, it could be the fact that means that after this ride I'll have a couple others, but I'm going to be doing the Everest attempt. That's the next big ride. So maybe it's making me think about how prepared I am. Yeah, so that's one of the, well, that is the longest ride I've ever done. But again, I'm quite happy with how it went. You know, it was definitely tiring, but you know, I don't feel like I've got any aches or pains anywhere. Well, not yet anyway. So, good ride. So, I have made a little bit of a error in keeping an eye on the training plan. It turns out that I've actually got an extra week that I didn't realise I did. But yeah, it's quite good actually. It means I've got an extra week to be training, which I'm sort of grateful for actually. So I've just finished the final big training week, week 11, and it finished really strong actually. I'm really happy with how I felt at the end of the week, which is good. I mean, it definitely, you know, gave me a lot of positivity towards the ride, because I thought the week before was my final week of training. It was almost like being given an extra night to do your homework.
So let's take a moment just to look at the hill that I'm going to be using for the Everest ride. The hill is called Ringinglow Road and it's in Sheffield. The section I'm riding of this road is 4.1 kilometres long, and it has an average gradient of 6%. At the bottom of the hill we have this residential area, and we have a nice wide lay-by which will allow me to safely turn around after I've descended. As we leave this residential area, we come across the first ramp of 6%, which does have a small dip afterwards, but quickly leads on to another ramp of 7%. After a short flat section, we get another ramp of 7%. As we enter Ringinglow, we have another short flat section. This then leads us into the Peak District, and now we come across the steepest ramp of 10%. After this, it flattens out a little bit, maintaining a 2 to 3% gradient towards the end of the hill. At the very top of the hill, we have this lay-by, which will allow me to turn around and then descend the hill again. This is also where the support team will be. I'll be able to pick up any food or drink from here and maybe take a 5-minute breather when needed. The height of Everest is 8,849 metres. Ringinglow Road has an elevation gain of 185 metres. This means I'm going to have to ride up the hill 47.8 times to achieve the height of Everest in one ride.
I don't really feel like I'm not going to do it. It is going to be a matter of, you know, whether it's 18 or 20 hours. The thing that's on my mind is that it's a long day. That's what it is. And it's a case of, I think there's parts where it's going to drag. That's definitely the mental side of it, rather than, you know, being physically able to do it. My plan's always been not to look at the whole day, you know, the whole 8,800 metres. It's been to, you know, just look at it as in, you know, take each lap as it is, you know, each climb as it is. And even maybe there'll be a point where even that one climb, that one lap seems like a lot, or seems like I'm not going to be able to do it, and then that's when I need to break it down like I have further into thirds. There's definitely like 3 distinct sections in my head, and then I just need to, you know, focus on completing each section of the individual climb rather than the whole climb.
After 22 hours, 400 kilometres and 8,849 metres of ascent, I approached the top of the hill for the final time. So this is the part where you'd expect me to take a triumphant pose and celebrate my success. But that's not the part I want to show you. The part I want to show you happened weeks before the training even started.
I'm going to commit to the Everest as well, very soon. But then, why shouldn't I commit today? Or why shouldn't I commit? Why shouldn't I have committed yesterday? And I tell myself that it's because I haven't chosen the hill yet. But you know, the real reason I haven't committed is probably more because that's it. It's a commitment. And once you say, once you say yes, you've got to do it. There's also the case of if you commit to it and you can't do it, or you don't do it, and then you failed on your commitment.
There is often feelings of uncertainty or fear when starting on a journey. This is because on any journey, the only thing that is certain is the outcome will not be what you expect. Commitment is the acceptance of this uncertainty. It is at this point where you open yourself to development and growth. This is the true moment for celebration.
So the date is the 11th of May, and it's quite hard to say actually. Well, I'm finding it quite hard to say. I've decided to commit to the Everest. I've decided to commit to the Everest challenge.